Thanks, Gregor. Evening, Andrew. You said you'd consider all options. How did you land on 1 year, and what does this mean for your long-term future with the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when our first conversation happened in June and they kind of asked what we wanted term-wise, and we were kind of thinking in that 4 or 5 year range. And then, with how the expansion drafts set out and with the trades that we made, kind of the cap space went away, pretty quickly. So it was pretty much 1 year was kind of the agreed upon term because that was what was basically available. And from there it was pretty easy. So, I would have liked to, maybe get a few more years, but I got a good contract, happy with it, happy with the improvements that the team, that we see that we made in the off season. Obviously a few key losses, but a few key additions as well. And we think that, we're a team that can go all the way this year. So, really excited to be back, and really excited to see what kind of team we got moving forward here.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Gregor. Evening, Andrew. Andrew, you built a reputation as kind of an ultimate team guy, team first guy. Would it be fair to categorize this as you doing the Jets a solid? Had you gone to arbitration, they could have been in a real precarious spot money-wise. By doing a 1 year deal, do you feel like you've helped the Jets out, at least in the short term here?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I guess I could have pushed and tried to, get a longer term deal out of this. And, if I guess I could have pushed for if the Jets weren't the ones to do that, someone else would have, but I didn't really think that was the right thing to do. And obviously enjoy my time in Winnipeg and want to, see these, changes and see how good we can be next year. But with that said, I don't want to say that I wasn't a team guy, but at the same time, like they probably gave me more than I would have gotten in arbitration from accounts that we've looked at, and probably that they've looked at too. So it wasn't, a ton more, but it was something that was like, all right, let's just get this done quickly. Obviously Neil in the fold a couple of days ago made it easier and kind of solidified the space that they had. So, I wouldn't say that I would take a ton of like discount credit, but I would guess it's committing to be here for the year instead of trying to get the 4 or 5 year deal elsewhere, maybe.
Go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Andrew, you mentioned that, things were pretty much put in place after Neil signed the deal, but how much of an incentive was avoiding going through that arbitration process again? Because I know you gave Murat a pretty good dissertation a couple of years ago, and it doesn't sound like it was a very positive day for you.
Yeah, I would say that probably wasn't a positive day, but at the same time, at that point in my career, I was ready to fight, and I was ready to explain why I felt like I deserved more, and not only got to basically make my case for making more, but it was a lot of it was more of making the case that, I had done really well in the playing time that I had gotten, and I felt like I could contribute more to the team. So half of going to ARB wasn't really about the money. It was more about having the opportunity to show management how good I think I can be, and with increased playing time, and it's worked out. I mean, I've gotten a lot more opportunity the last 2 years and taken steps in my game and continue to get better. So it was never really about the money as much as improving my worth and my status, I guess, on the team, or how important to the team I can be. So going through ARB wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do again, but I'm always ready and willing to fight for myself and fight for what I think I deserve and all of that. So at the end of the day, I'm happy to not have to go through that process, and happy that we came to an amicable negotiation that was pretty quick, actually. So happy with that part of it, but I definitely don't regret going to ARB 2 years ago.
We'll go next to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Thanks, Gregor. Hi, Andrew. Just kind of reflecting on the amount of uncertainty that you have to process. It seems every couple of years in the NHL, whether it's an expansion draft, contract situations, you're dealing with a constantly in flux landscape of what your life or career might look like. Are you better at that at 27 than before? And when does that really ever become comfortable, if ever?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point I'm kind of comfortable being uncomfortable. I guess I kind of knew early on that I was going to be protected, so that wasn't really something that I was worrying too much into the summer about. But yeah, I mean, 2 expansion drafts and contracts kind of in the years in between, so it's been yeah, always something in the summer, it feels like. So obviously being on a 1-year deal next summer will be the kind of the same sort of thing, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I basically am betting on myself and have done that for the last 10 years. So why stop now?
Go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. As those trades are happening, Andrew, and you see that cap space kind of disappearing, what's going through your mind? Is there a little bit of, hey, what about me?
I mean, I guess it's natural for a little bit of that, but at the same time, you look at the trades, we didn't lose any NHL players off our roster, and we added 2 really valuable D-men that are, great players in this league and a little different and bring something different than, maybe definitely different from each other, but different from what we have back there too. So I think, we got a really well-rounded defensive core now and in depth back there too, so we're really excited about that. And obviously we feel like we got, one of the best goalies in the league, and, our forward group has been pretty solid now for a number of years. So we like the makeup of the team. And at that point, it appeared that the longer term deal wasn't going to happen, but at the same time, was really excited about the opportunity to come back for a year and then see where everything lies after that.
Go next to Carter Brooks from Game On. Go ahead, Carter.
Hey, Andrew. You just mentioned next summer. Obviously, in a situation where you become a UFA, we've seen similar players that have gone on to sign big deals, Zach Hyman, etc., who may be comparable to you. What do you feel is important in this coming season to, again, prove your worth?
I mean, I think for me, it's just continue to get better. I feel like I've gotten better every season I've been in the NHL, and I want this year to be the same. I felt like I had, built on the season before last year, and just want to continue to build. And a lot of that comes from success from the team. It's, we get to a second round and I feel like you're a big part of that. And now we feel like we're poised to hopefully go even further. And you look at Tampa and some of the guys that were there, and just winning just solves everything. So, that's my goal, is to come back and get as far as we can and win, and then kind of just see where the chips fall after that. Not too worried about, stats or anything like that. Just kind of worried about helping the team win and, hopefully, just kind of prove my worth and continue to do that and continue to improve.
Go back to Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Andrew, given your role in the, return to play negotiations and your, ability to, know the CBA, did that help the betting on yourself element, knowing that, down the road there could be more money opening up here, as, it's a flat cap world for now, but things could open up down the road?
It didn't play a part, but I guess it didn't play a part in the deal, I guess, that we signed. But I guess in the back of your mind, with escrow at 18% this year, it's, you see a lot of the guys with the bell curve kind of contracts going right now, where they kind of middle load the contract. So with 18% escrow this year, and at the number that I'm at, hopefully going forward, there's a little bit more money in the system and an opportunity to get that, increase in salary at a reduced escrow price, which kind of changes their take home dollars at the end of the day. But like I said, wasn't a factor in the deal that we signed.
Go back to Kelly Moore from 680 CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Andrew, you've been such a big part of this hockey club in its rise now, and obviously, is everybody has mentioned, the 2 additions on defense make the Jets a legitimate contender. Whatever happens at the end of this year, are you going to take this year and squeeze out of it everything you possibly can in terms of making it the best year that you've ever had with the Winnipeg Jets? Like, are all the pieces there in your mind to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're right there. I think, it's the difference is so small at the end of the day, and but we feel like up and down the lineup where we're sitting. I think some of the pieces that we lost, I'll single out Appleton because I played with him a lot. Is we're gonna have to figure out a way to replace him and what he brought on a night to night basis. But I think that we like where we're sitting right now, and it'll just kind of be up to us to go out and make it happen.
Go next to Mike McIntyre from the Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Andrew, you brought up Mason, and I was going to ask you, you and Adam must be wondering at times, is it something we said? Because you had a lot of different guys kind of come through, whether it was Brandon or Matthew had played on that line, and Jack Roslovic, of course, played there. Mason, obviously that you two work very well together, and the third guy on that line seems to always sort of mesh. But any thoughts as to what that might look like now going forward?
No, honestly, I haven't really thought too much about it. I think that's kind of a conversation I'm sure I'll have with Paul in the next month before training camp starts, and see kind of what he's thinking. Obviously, I think there's a lot of different ways the lineup can shake out, whether it is me and Adam together, or me with Stas and Nikki, or me playing center or wing. So it's just kind of what the role I've had the last couple of years of kind of being very, very versatile and moving between lines pretty seamlessly. So we'll see what Paul has in store and has in mind for us, the way we're going to look to start the year. But that's definitely what it's going to be, just to start the year, because there's always injuries and there's always performance where guys will move up and down. So it'll be just like the years before, I'm sure, and just kind of prepared for that.
Final question back to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Thanks, Gregor. Back to kind of a topic of uncertainty, I guess, for me. In a league where guys get paid for points and ice time primarily, what is it like to know that, circumstance, injury, all those sorts of things might affect what kind of top six, power play minutes, all that sort of stuff, which will directly impact what happens kind of next summer for you?
Just control what I can control. I think it's, just kind of felt that way my entire career, and just kind of try to concentrate on getting better each and every day, and trying to prove that I belong, as an important part of the team and a core part of the team. So I feel like I was able to contribute in a lot of different areas last year, and I've been working hard in the off season to continue to improve in all those areas, and improve my finishing like we've talked about for a number of years now. And feel like I'm still getting better and still got better years ahead of me. So hopefully I can build off last year, and like I said, just control what I can control.
Thanks very much for doing this, Andrew.
Thanks, guys.